Hi, I'm David Harrison and I'm a student here at DBS doing the Masters in Electronic Music Production. I've been obsessed with synthesizers since as far back as I can remember. I used to live in a bungalow in Wickford when I was a kid, and when VHS came out, my dad was getting all these new films, like emerging technology. But what I really noticed was the soundtracks, and through the wall I heard the pulsating kind of John Carpenter soundtrack. And from then on, I just had an absolute love of synthesizers. So I gather this was the first year the EMP course was being done part-time online. So when that arose, I was like, okay, let's go for it. I had a long discussion with the family and decided we could probably deal with it for 18 months, 2 years. And then in the meantime, just get a little job, stress-free, and then focus on the music and DBS. I was in and out of bands, and another good friend of mine, he loved music as well, but he was the only other synthesizer lover in the area. So we've kept that relationship, and during COVID, he was like, "What, are you ever going to release anything?" Just trying to talk me into it, because I wasn't really interested. So then I set up on doing an album, totally self-funded, just did it at home, mixed it at home. And on the Saturday morning after it was released in 2022, April 2022, my partner was like joking again, "Oh, let's check the charts, see if you're in it." I was like, and then she went, "You're actually in the charts." And I was like, "Oh, shut up, you're not funny," just ignored her. And yeah, I just entered above Daft Punk's compilation of their singles and the new Chemical Brothers compilation. It was just such a milestone, so it kind of led me to carry on. I got a new bit of modular, an Intelligent Atlantis, and I just jammed for 9 minutes. When I reviewed it back, I just wanted to keep all of it. And what I hadn't done is considered further down the line, I might have to edit that into something. But unfortunately, because I hadn't done it in the box, editing it was quite difficult. So I sent it to my mate and label boss, and he was like, "I love it, great, finish it off." He'd taken the stems off me and remixed it. He'd gone out and been a hit. He sent me videos of people dancing to it in China, and he's like, "Just finish the song." And for some reason, I just couldn't get down to it. I got into a real negative cycle. I didn't know where I was going to take it. I didn't know what I wanted from it, and it was just like, put it to one side. But then, unfortunately, because I can't leave tracks, I have to finish them. It was blocking anything subsequent that I tried to do, because I was always like, right, I need to finish that, I need to finish that. Eventually, using some of the skills and the methods taught to me by Chris on the Advanced Electronic Music Production module, it enabled me to kind of objectively look at it and not just review my workflow in general, but review an individual track and understand what had gone wrong, and then further to that, kind of design techniques that I know I'd stick to, enable to overcome those issues further down the line. And with this track, I realized that I'd done all the creative stuff, and it was amazing to try with all these new bits of gear that I'd got. And then I went out externally and got some feedback on sonic elements, not so much the content, but the sonic, how do you think about this kick drum? So I've got a few contacts in London that are quite high profile mix and master engineers that gave me like an honest opinion. So I took that, and then I planned and structured days around finishing this track. And it was a really easy process. So what I started like in July 23, I actually finished mid-module basically, but I didn't stop there. What I then did was I applied that process and giving myself permission to create freely to a new track. So I spent 3 hours jamming something, and I started it on I think it was a Monday night after a long walk. Had a little jam, and then I took this idea, started developing it, and within a week I'd have finished mixed mastered track. Contacted my mate who'd already put out the 9-minute one, but with his own remix on it. And he was like, "Well, it's a bit strange putting it out after we've done that," but he loved it. So I added this other one as well and did a double A side. So both tracks went out January the 12th. Yeah, skirted the Beatport chart, did really well. But then at the mixing stage, there was so much depth to it. I mean, we had bass line on top of bass line on top of kick drum, and I was not making any decisions. I just looked at the whole process from beginning to end, and I kept a reflective journal. Just so what was making me be more productive on the days I was productive, what was making me finish things when other days I couldn't. And it allowed me to understand about me that I need a creative output. So in having to mix something that was so dense and so long, I was stemming that creative need to do stuff. So by shaping a new process, what I did was I separated the mixing from the creative side of it. So I allowed myself, I gave myself permission to spend 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, whatever, and I actually logged it out in my calendar, just to create, like, mess with stuff, jam, get the modular out and do stuff that I love doing. And then anything from that, I would then move it to the next stage. I'd queue it up with the other things that needed finishing. The passion from the lecturers, you can see, you know, when you start talking to Martin about DIY or Chris about drum and bass and all these areas of expertise they have, they're just passionate about it, and they're really, really approachable, willing to learn. And the content just really works for me. The delivery style works for me personally, and the support and positive attitude around the whole place is really quite striking.